comics. This white line leading us through all the expositional opening is a cheap ripoff of the old Mission Impossible TV show's lit fuse. What in the romance novel is happening here? I just watched part 1 of this 2-parter yesterday, and I had already forgotten that this was Poison Ivy playing mind with Brucey. Not sure if that says more about my memory or how short of a time part 1 stays with you, but I'm an asshole, so sin the movie I shall.
Aren't you forgetting something?
Oh no, I left a condom in my room. I'm not a woman, but there's something off about this outfit. Something strange yet obvious. I don't know, my memory isn't at its best right now.
I can't resist you.
Drugs. Look, I don't give a shit about Valentine's Day and don't have much interest in St. Patrick's Day, but it would still be interesting to see what actually went down on these holidays. So much time was spent on Halloween, Thanksgiving, and Christmas in the first part. We're having to speed through just about everything else in the second part. But also, why is this leprechaun in the come at me bro pose? Who is he stopping in battle? He looks like he thinks he's Gandalf. You should pass! This movie has moved through the year via conversation and subtitle cards, but this rapid calendar page is out of nowhere. Feels lazy. April Fools! I feel like this holiday killer is playing fast and loose with the definition of a holiday. Is he going to do a murder on Arbor Day or May the 4th? I see most of Wayne Manor has been taken over by the holy f***, would you look at the size of that moon? Bruce Almighty's like, yeah, that's too far. I'm no Wall Street expert, but even I know that to transfer stocks from one entity to another, there would need to be a broker, or at least a guarantor or a notary to witness the exchange and sign off. It's not like writing pay to the order of on the back of a check. Making sure the exchange isn't under duress is the entire point.
You know what you have to do, so we can be together.
It's taken Poison Ivy 3 months to get Wayne to this point. She had him possessed all to hell right after New Year's. Why didn't she get him to sign over everything then? I guess this is supposed to be exciting, but it's not.
This isn't you, Bruce! She's controlling you somehow!
Is Catwoman trying to talk him out of the effects of the poison? But also, how the f*** is Catwoman even talking right now with the Batman grip around her throat?
How did you know?
Well, you haven't exactly been discreet, appearing with Ivy in public and signing assets over to the Roman.
If that's the case, then why is Selena just showing up now?
I told you I don't want a partner.
That's a very strange and f***ed up way to say thank you for saving my life, Selena.
3 months.
Took a while to catch the jolly green Jezebel with her guard down.
That's your excuse? Really? You're f***ing Catwoman.
Gilda, I'm sorry. We'll make the late movie.
Small sample size, but both times Harvey has apologized for working late in part 1 and part 2 has been for not being on time to watch a movie. Is movie watching all these two do together? Who just consumes movies all the time? It's not like there's a career possibility in watching movies. Also, if Harvey is that concerned about his marriage, then why does he keep showing up at these crime scenes? Gordon can get all the info to him the next morning if needed. District attorneys are typically only needed if there's a question of whether or not a search warrant is necessary for the crime scene investigators. But since Gordon and his men are already looking around, that's clearly not the case here.
Mother's Day. This one snuck up on us.
Are they seriously surprised by this? When you're looking after a killer named Holiday, who only kills on holidays, then isn't the first f***ing job of anyone on the case to bring attention to any day that could constitute as a holiday? Siren and lights are to let everyone know the bobsled down the Arkham Mountain competition is about to begin. Batman should take that mask off. Scarecrow poison is a hoax. It can't hurt you. It's just being used to control you. Isn't there some kind of armor fitted in the suit? And if there's not, there should be. He's got people shooting and stabbing at him all the time. So either there is armor and this needle shouldn't be able to pierce it, or Batman is not wearing any kind of protection and he's a f***ing idiot.
Happy Mother's Day.
God damn.
Mother.
Martha. It's literally not a Batman movie unless we relive his parents' death in the alley, usually with some literal pearl clutching. He calls Catwoman Mother, and I've got some new fanfiction to write.
Where is she, Alfred?
She.
Mother.
The movie has time for this. You have 5 police line sawhorses and 8 uniformed officers, but the formations are such that I question the efficacy here.
Papa, I want to be in the room.
Where it happens, the room where it happens, the room where it happens. I still can't get over how over-designed this mansion is. It screams go away to anyone that has architectural taste. Here's an animated newspaper literally using lorem ipsum copy-paste filler text instead of even pretending to write an article. And that's even lazier than the lazy lines part 1 drew in place of newspaper text. Covering your couch in plastic, or possibly buying a couch that is so shiny it appears to have plastic wrapped all around it. Yes, let's flash back to young Bruce Wayne, because that has never been done before.
Looks like 5 bullet wounds to the chest.
Counting. Hey, maybe if you have a decent nanny, young Bruce never has to watch his dad compromise his values and operate on a gangster.
Come on, we have to let him rest.
With no blanket? He's not even in a bed. I wanted to point out how f***ing muscular the arms of the flashback Godfather are, but then I realized I was right! God damn, he has a six-pack on his triceps. Not wearing a belt, or possibly not remembering how to draw a belt. One sin either way.
The only thing that ends war is peace.
Or an arranged marriage between the two sides. Or nuclear weapons. Or sudden Earth-killer asteroids. But also, peace is not what ends a war. Peace is the opposite of war. So this is like saying, the only thing that ends dying is breathing. Or, the only thing that ends cancer is not having cancer. Godfather Maroni was shot in the center of his throat. But we quickly learn that the shooter was standing far away on Maroni's left. So that was one magic bullet. Because screaming makes you run faster. Also, the orchard with the dead godfather is a little on the nose, you guys. Lying on tombstones. The aspect of this angle seems unnecessary.
How the hell did you get through security?
This question goes unanswered and unexplained, and I hate it. The city of Gotham is setting off $50 million of fireworks for Independence Day, and no one cares. That's the least believable thing about this movie. Has the movie ever been to a big city 4th of July fireworks show? People set up lawn chairs for that shit the previous day. Yes, the movie suggests folks are scared of the holiday killer, but he's been killing fairly high-profile mob targets. Also, I saw the turnout for the fireworks in Nashville last year during a goddamn pandemic, and let's just say that a holiday killer is only going after one person, and all the citizens would assume it will be someone else and would still come out to party.
I tell you, Harv, if I could, I'd have every cop in the city here tonight.
That sounds like a terrible idea, but more importantly, why couldn't you? But also, why would you do that? With the Scarecrow still on the loose, Carmine Falcone is the least of your problems. Plus, he's already surrounded by police officers. Getting surprise attacked by the fucking Mad Hatter. It's third-tier villain day in Gotham City. Also, and to pile on, what the was that? Batman can be snuck up on? And tiny leprechauns can jump super high to hit tall Batman in the head with tea kettles? I feel like I'm taking crazy pills. Catwoman Ex Machina. In fact, this whole movie is Catwoman Ex Machina.
Get to Gordon. I'll be back.
With a movie that has Scarecrow, Mad Hatter, and a holiday-themed serial killer running around, how the is Harvey the biggest asshole? You know, your goddamn wife just got shot at too. Just want everyone to remember Harvey is a fucking district attorney and should not be able to shimmy down this bridge support so flawlessly. Catwoman gets hit over the head by an assailant she'd already put on the ground, which means she did not hear him get up and grab a rock and lunge for her, which is fucking stupid.
You believe this BS? Is that why you want a divorce?
She was super unhappy from the beginning of part 1 to now, so you're clearly projecting, which should tell her that you definitely had something to do with this murder on TV, you dumbass. Holy shit, this lawyer on the left has so many handwritten notes, which would be fine if he had a way to organize them that wasn't spread them all over this table. Is he playing homemade giant solitaire?
You have confessed to 19 counts.
I appreciate that the movie shows Dent dealing with a second voice in his head, signaling that his eventual transformation into Two-Face isn't entirely about disfiguration. But all it does is remind me of Goblin and Raimi's Spider-Man, or the Venom movies, all of which I'd rather be watching right now than this.
Maybe that's why I got an ulcer. You know, from drinking the water.
Laughing at a mass murderer's jokes. And Harvey's back in the hospital. He spent as much time in the hospital lately as he has in court, and he's a lawyer.
The doctor says he'll be fine in a few days.
The hell? He had acid poured on him. He may be released in a few days, but he will not be fucking fine in a few days, you lazy dickhead. Harvey survives this. And then Harvey survives this. This glass of red wine is so watered down I can see through it. This comics-based movie loves cigarettes.
Is that what happened to you? Did you die and come back?
If you're asking this, then I'm sure the answer is yes, but I also think there's probably a way to tell me this in less time. Gotham City, where the streets are usually empty at night. Solomon Grundy commits a felony on a Monday.
We found the guns in your basement.
If this took place in Tennessee, the cops would be surprised not to find guns in the basement. Of course, the guard that Grundy grabbed is Batman in disguise because convenience is 9/10 of the movie.
You and I know that both sides of that coin are heads.
For story purposes, Two-Face will easily overpower Batman and throw him into a wall, and I'm over here like, the fuck? He was a lawyer! Sure, let's hang a sheet right above a roaring fire. This seems safe.
My husband is dead.
I'm sorry, ma'am, but that's not true.
Yes, it is.
Why is this scene? Inmates get 4 tacos?
Trick or treat.
Fine, but you are clearly an adult and not a child. However, you did do a little more than just throwing a hoodie on like most older teens do in my neighborhood, so I'm almost willing to let this slide. I said almost.
Attacking us like that, out in the open, it didn't fit the profile.
But Holiday also struck once on a ship crowded with people, including f***ing Batman and Catwoman. How did that fit the profile?
It's hard to believe the man who stood on this roof and made that promise, that bond with each of us, would cross the line.
It's also hard to believe that this movie is choosing to fill some of the last 20 minutes with these long philosophical asides, but here we are.
There are deep scars there, and I'm not talking about his face.
Maybe you weren't, but still finding it hard to believe you weren't going for a pun, and that's a little fucked up.
Do you know what my people call this past year? The Long Halloween.
Roll credit.
There is a rule among my kind. We leave the wives out of it.
Which I say for no particular reason, but will give you the info you need to lead you down the correct path in solving this case.
I never thanked you for finding me and getting me home that night.
You thought I was your mother.
Oedipal complexes.
Your father, are you sure?
Ah, so Catwoman's a bastard. How are Poison Ivy and Mad Hatter protected from the Scarecrow's toxins? They aren't wearing any kind of protection over their mouths or nose.
Heads! I meant heads!
Movie wants us to believe that Calendar Man was the only prisoner who guessed tails.
You're not old.
Maybe I am.
Great. Skip! I'm sure Joker would find it fascinating that Harvey has donned a new look and is aiming to walk on the dark side, but I don't believe that Joker would ever agree to simply be someone's henchman. Bulletproof umbrellas! And yes, I know the Penguin has these, but that doesn't make him any less dumb. So Solomon Grundy is basically Hulk, only he never goes back to human form? Carmine continues shooting at the one person in this room who bullets clearly don't affect.
What is this?
Judgment Day.
Taking T2 in vain. Also, why waste bullets by shooting them into a door when you have a creature capable of busting through the door on his own? This is boring.
Nancy, hold all my calls.
This story needs Joker like I need a third belly button. I may have said too much. She can just restrain Batman this easily, but didn't do that any time in the entire battle before now. It's almost like most of the other villains here weren't really needed.
Now let's get you out of all this.
And Batman avoids Poison Ivy's enchantments because... magic?
Harvey.
How's the beeping? I know Catwoman is strong, but I don't buy that these claws can help her hold on to the ledge while holding Sophia.
Can't hold on!
Sophia kills herself because, I don't know, I guess it was in the comic that way? Yeah, her dad just died, but she was a pretty good person despite her lineage. So ending her arc this way feels more like a quick way to add some dramatic punch to this ending, and less like giving a shit about the character herself.
Louisa.
Thank God Selena looks identical to her birth mother, so that she's able to learn the identity finally.
The long Halloween is over.
I mean, I wish, but we've still got 10 minutes left.
Gilda.
Why did you say that name?
It had to be done.
You mean Gilda is Holiday? I only figured that out a little over an hour ago because I've, seen the movie before. Batman figured out who Holiday was, and she knows he's there and has caught her, but she still keeps burning evidence. But also, why did she keep these photos during her killing time, if they were so incriminating?
I need to know that Holiday is done.
Wait, what? Batman is gonna let a f***ing serial killer off the hook because she assures him that she's done killing?
Not done. Finished.
That is the same thing! If Batman were real, then letting your kid dress up as him would be a questionable parenting decision. But okay. An end credit scene for a 2-part animated Batman movie?
What manner of man are you that can summon up fire without flint or tinder?
Forget the geriatric bat. Come, join me. My garden needs tending.
And if we can't all agree at the bare minimum that a giant comet the size of Mount Everest...
I'm starving!
All right, start looking for spaces.
Oh, you're never gonna find a space on Jerry's block. Just put it in a garage.
Look, I have my system. First, I look for the dream spot right in front of the door, then I slowly expand out in concentric circles.
No, come on, George, please put it in a garage. I don't want to spend an hour looking for a space.
What makes you think I want to hear you talk? Your favorite cannolis.
Leave the gun. Take the cannoli.
I'm a leprechaun, me dear.
They stole it from us. Master's my friend. You don't have any friends. Nobody likes you. Not listening. Not listening.
Where is Harvey Dent?
Taco Tuesday.
Are you saying chorizo tacos?
The city burns in the background as he takes her in his arms. Fade out. Title. The end. Question mark.